Hi everyone, my name is Chantelle and today I'll be discussing how you can keep your hair and beauty businesses safe from cybercrime. So I work for the North East Business Resilience Centre and we are a police-led, not-for-profit organisation working with the police, big business and academia to provide 24/7 support to small and medium businesses in the North East and Yorkshire areas of the UK. There's also a resilience centre in each region and we all form a partnership network to protect businesses from risk. As a previously self-employed beauty therapist, I can relate to the day-to-day running of a business in this sector, and I know that for me, cybersecurity was never on my radar, but it is at an all-time high and will create financial and reputational damage on businesses, which would affect your clients' trust in you and your profits. So protecting your data has never been more crucial. I'm going to be chatting to you about the possible risks to your business and how you can mitigate these. Plus, it's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so what better time? No business, large or small, is immune to the threat of cybercrime, and the UK hair and beauty sector is no different. With the National Hair and Beauty Federation reporting a staggering 56% of UK beauty and hair salons having been victims of cyber fraud, it's never safe to assume that your business will stay under the radar of online criminals. The hackers know no physical or moral boundaries, and so it's important that any potential threat is recognised and addressed to head off any financial, reputational or legal damage. It's a common misconception that small businesses are unlikely to be the target of malicious activity. The UK Government Cybersecurity Breaches Survey, statistics shown here, have found that almost 40% of UK companies of all sizes have experienced a cyber breach or attempt in the last 12 months. Making some basic but necessary changes could be enough to help deter opportunistic hackers from eyeing up your business for an easy payday. Criminals are launching more online attacks against British businesses than ever before, and the average cost to businesses who were victims of fraud this year is £4,200, but can be anything up to £35,000 according to the survey. So what actually is cybercrime? So we get lots of comments and queries about what cybercrime actually is. So these are some common terms in the world of cybercrime, but I know what you're thinking. What the hell are some of these? You might recognise a few of them like spam or phishing, but most of them are an absolute minefield. So let's break it down to this. And cybercrime is exactly that. It's a crime. So it's theft of money or data, or it could be damage to systems or the reputation of your business. And this is why language is so key, because you can relate to this as business owners. So a theft or damage in our salons or to our data, we would recognise this as a crime and know what to do. So we'd call the police, get a crime number, call our insurance and let them know, etc. So who commits the crime? Again, back to language, it all gets really confusing, but these are some of the common terminologies for cyber criminals, which again are so unrelatable, some you might have never heard of. So let's break it down again, and it all relates back to the fact that they are criminals, and it's as simple as that. Now, criminals won't always look like this, but for the purpose of this presentation, we will stereotype with the balaclava and the hoodies and the crowbar. So your typical burglar will be after money or assets that you keep in your business, whereas a cyber criminal has a different commodity and target altogether, and that's data. So this could be all of your client data stored on your computer systems, sometimes in your mobile phones or in your client record cards. So it could also be any payment details that might be stored or accessed if you take online payments or over the phone payments for your products or services. But why? Why do they do this? So Motivation can come down to greed. It could be making money from you. It could be intentional damage, so maybe a disgruntled employee that you've let go but they can't let go. It could be bragging rights, that they've managed to get into your systems or get your data, or it could simply be revenge, and this is across the board for all crime. So all that these criminals, or any type of criminal, can exploit is a vulnerability in your business. So this could be physical or digital. So it could be an open window or an unlocked door. And digitally, it could be that you're not securing your systems with strong passwords. You might not be backing up your data in your files, which we'll go on to a bit later. So home vulnerabilities are easy to spot, and we're conditioned to look after our property physically. Same goes for our businesses, so you can identify yourself what needs fixing. So where I used to work, we had shutters outside to prevent people getting in. We had locks on the doors, CCTV. Some have internal cameras, external cameras, and we all know and can relate to these fixes to keep ourselves, our businesses, and even our homes safe and secure. However, online vulnerabilities can look a bit like this. So how can we mitigate this? How do we know what vulnerabilities are there? So this could be a vulnerability in your website. This is what a vulnerability in your payment system or booking system might look like if it's not secure. And this is how criminals will get in, how they steal your data, and how they attack. So the crime is theft or damage, and how they get to that could be you could drop your work phone with no password or a really easy to guess password. You could send an email to the wrong person, or they can trick you via phishing, which is the biggest threat to businesses and the main attack vector for cyber criminals getting into any sector or size of business and into their systems and accounts. So it would be opportunists looking for a way into any business, or it could be targeted, but it's more than likely going to be an opportunist. So phishing's used by criminals to trick recipients into handing over login details for popular sites such as Facebook, eBay, PayPal. So these emails then attempt to get personal information such as bank account details, so they might claim to be an unpaid or overdue invoice from a reputable supplier that you work with, and it can be as easy as that. So it's not really a surprise when you think about it like this, but it's because you don't think about it like this, we don't see ourselves as targets, as small businesses, and it can really be a surprise and a big shock when it does happen. So we've got here some real life examples of phishing emails that we received in our business. So this top one was to Joe, who is now our senior student supervisor, claiming to be from our director, Becky. So, hello Joe, I'm walking into a closed door meeting right now, and I need you to handle a short but urgent task. Reply with your mobile number and wait for my text message. Thanks, sincerely. So this was before I started working at the centre, but my colleagues would spot this a mile off because this isn't how Becky emails or how she types. But Joe, being the technical genius that he is, noticed the Get Outlook for IO, which is just at the bottom of that top email. And Joe knew that Becky's got an iPhone and that she updates it regularly. So this Get Outlook for IO would only come up if you use a different program, and that's how we spotted that one. So the next one was one of 4 emails to myself on my very first week of working in the centre. So again, hello Chantelle, I need you to handle a short but urgent task. Send me your WhatsApp phone number. Thanks. So the very first day of my new role was training on phishing and how to spot these types of emails. And in the next few days after this one, I had 3 other emails. So 3 pretending to be from Becky and 1 from a key partner of ours. But because of my training, I spotted that the email address was wrong, Femi Owalabi, And when Becky emails, there's a picture next to her name, and again, colleagues would recognise that she doesn't type like this. But if I hadn't had my training, I didn't know Becky, I hadn't even met Becky at this point, I might have fallen for it, and this is exactly what they rely on. So again, from my training, I reported to phishing.gov.uk, and as a centre we keep a log so that we can see who's been targeted and see if there's any patterns in any phishing emails. So we treat every interaction like we don't know the person every time. So always having that zero trust policy on any emails and attachments that come through. So in some breach cases, there'll be an immediate financial loss. So a hacker could lock you out from your appointment software. They could demand a ransom to restore access. They want to get people offline and onto mobile devices like WhatsApp, and that's the case on both of these phishing emails here. So on WhatsApp, contact can be more immediate. They can manipulate you more, and they just want to get you onto there because it's a bit more private as well. So COVID-19 has accelerated the switch to card payments and transformed consumer behaviour. So a report from WorldPay shows that cash payments dropped by 13% in 2020, and that by 2024 only 7% of in-store purchases will be made in cash, with a third of payments being made by mobile. So customers are right to embrace the new digital age and streamline the experience. However, there's new risks in the form of card fraud. So excessive payment fraud could lead to monetary losses and impact customer confidence. So your liability is reduced in the event of a cardholder present transaction. The same is not necessarily true of card not present transactions. So paying a supplier over the phone or letting a client pay over the phone. So fraudsters are looking to take advantage of the fact that in a card not present scenario, you're not able to physically check the card or meet the card holder. And in the event that a fraudulent transaction is approved, your business not only loses a sale and any associated products, but you'll also be required to reimburse the amount for the legitimate card holder as well. So common scams, what you should watch out for. So if the payment is for a large order, larger than you'd expect, maybe from a new customer, sometimes split over several cards. Be aware of any last minute changes to any delivery addresses and requests to send items to hotels or guest houses, even PO boxes. Fraudsters might also contact your business claiming to work for your payment service provider. They might claim that there's a problem with your terminals. They might request card transactions to be processed via the phone with their operatives, including every detail. They might send an engineer who arrives unannounced and requests previous card transaction details so that they can perform checks on machines. Forced authorization fraud, so customers might request that you force an authorization through of their card if it's been declined. They might use a fake authorization code. Gift cards, which are amazing for business but can be an easy target for fraud. So if a customer was to return maybe stolen goods and want to exchange those for a gift card. So what can you do? So first of all, follow your instincts. Be wary of large orders from new customers. Always follow prompts on your terminals. Train your staff regularly in anti-fraud measures. Don't force through any authorization, and always ask for a receipt and customer ID. So the survey from the National Hair and Beauty Federation found that 52% of members that had suffered a cyber attack had suffered financial loss. So they were most commonly card fraud and phone scams, and only 17% of businesses had their losses covered by their bank. So in June 2020, cosmetics and personal care company Avon was hit by a cyber attack that disrupted online ordering services and back-end systems in the UK and across Europe. So the website was offline for several weeks, the customer service centre had to close, and the firm was unable to respond to customer emails, so huge impact. So hacking is the shutting down or misuse of your website or network. This can lead to data being damaged, stolen or leaked. So beauty, hair, spa businesses often store sensitive health-related information, credit card details for clients, all of which can be of real interest to criminal elements. And in the darker corners of the internet, there's a market for these stolen details, and it's often flaws in passwords and how they're set. People keeping the default credentials on systems. This can make it much easier for hackers to gain access. So top tip, get into good habits by using strong password protection. Create complex passwords that include numbers, characters, capitals, symbols. You can install a password manager on your systems that can help you to store multiple and complex passwords securely. Creating user-specific passwords and PIN protection for logins will help protect your salon against cyber threats as well. So lots of this information comes down to GDPR, and this requires that personal data has got to be processed securely using appropriate technical and organisational measures. The regulation doesn't mandate a specific set of cybersecurity measures, but rather expects you to take appropriate action. So in other words, you need to manage risk of data leakage or misuse, and this is extremely important in the hair and beauty sector, because most hair and beauty businesses will use some form of booking system, which, as discussed, has the potential to get hacked and would be detrimental to the business. So as we know, salons and barbershops hold data on clients and employees, which can be very valuable to cyber criminals, such as personal contact details, allergies, even schedules. So GDPR imposes much stricter requirements than the old Data Protection Act, and you must make sure that any data that you do hold is secure and protected. So if your client data is on the old style record cards, so pen and paper, it's just worth being aware that they could be easily accessed by criminals and then sold on the black market. What should you think about? So what we say to every business that we work with is, what would you do if your phone, computer, everything business related was thrown into a fish tank? So these are some small steps that you can take. Things to think about. So patching, which just means keeping systems up to date and always running the latest updates, including all devices, so laptops, iPads, making sure you're not leaving it too long in between updating these. Use multi-factor and two-factor authentication wherever possible, especially when making payments. So I know PayPal do this a lot now, where you have to confirm that it's you on the app or through a text or phone call when you're ordering something. Always call in suppliers to just double check that you are paying who you need to pay. And if the websites that you use for business offer two-factor authentication, and it can also be known as 2FA or MFA, then we would recommend that you switch to add that layer of protection on. Use antivirus on systems. So we usually have antivirus on our home systems, so why would business be any different? Ensuring all your devices are continually updated with the latest antivirus and anti-malware software is also a must. So there's many reputable and reasonably priced software packages available, which are really easy to install and update. Negate phishing attacks, so never opening attachments if you don't recognise the sender. Have a reporting and login mechanism for this, a zero trust policy to any and all correspondence. Training all your staff members, so covering things like password awareness training, phishing emails. You can have your systems checked over for vulnerabilities, so can a criminal get access if they really wanted to. Backing up your data, so have a copy of your data just in case, so remembering what if all your devices were thrown into a fish tank. And finally, plan. So have a plan, test, use this fish tank analogy. So what can you do now? So the NEBRC, we're here to help. Whether you're a sole trader, a larger business, we're here to support you on your cybersecurity journey. So you may not think these things could happen to you, but hopefully I've switched you on today to the fact that it could happen, and that's enough to do something about it, surely. So we offer a completely free membership where you can receive these bits and pieces on screen. So we have a monthly newsletter with the latest threats and trends, things to look out for, as well as other free guidance and material to make you and your business more cyber aware. So if you'd like to be signed up as a core member, please get in touch with me, or you can sign up direct via our website. So our aim would be to get every business to place themselves on our roadmap. So we take our members through their own journey of cybercrime. We want to get everyone switched on first and foremost by joining our free membership. We then want businesses to fill in our business risk check or health check if possible, which is a bank of questions to help us understand your organisational position in terms of cybersecurity before going on to work through a bespoke set of recommendations together to see how we can help mitigate the business risk to you. You can then access our free material through your core membership and our website to give you a starting point of what to consider to keep your business safe and secure. This will increase your understanding and delve further into how we can help your business through our range of additional services, such as vulnerability assessments, which I mentioned earlier. We also have packages around training, policy reviews and website testing, which we can discuss with you as well. We also have a trusted partner network, which consists of local cybersecurity agencies, and they help and advise us on the latest threats and trends. You can have access to these as well, and then it's just an ongoing relationship from there. So we're here for you anytime, discuss any concerns, or even just a catch up. So sign up to the NEBRC, it's free. We can help point you into the right direction for your business and provide you with free, impartial advice and guidance. Another top tip, keep your devices up to date. So keep an eye on your device and updates. Make sure you regularly do this to patch up any vulnerabilities in your network. Another reminder, passwords. So keep your passwords strong and complex. So this will help protect your business, your networks and your data from any attacks. Train your staff. So make sure staff are trained on spotting the warning signs that we discussed. Then from that, just be wary of phishing emails, any suspicious calls, which could lead to card fraud, trusting your instincts and going with your gut feeling. Remember, online crime is still a crime, so report it where you can. We always recommend reporting it. We have a mechanism of reporting phishing. Like I said, recommend you to have a log on and just to keep a track of phishing emails and see if there's any patterns in that. Always report to the police through action fraud if you do suffer a cyber attack, and there's more information on this on our website. Make sure you're GDPR compliant, making sure your business adheres to all these regulations within GDPR. Always remember the fish tank. What would you do if everything was thrown into a fish tank? So backing up, make sure you have a plan in place for this. So thank you for listening. That's it from me. If you need any further information, please drop me an email or visit our website for more information. But thank you so much for listening and thank you for your time.